you a telemedicine demo using this CloudFabrix platform. And CloudFabrix can talk to multiple teleconference nodes, gather data, all the call data, and process them into our software, and be able to show the data by different criterias, different filtering mechanisms, and so that user can look at what's going on in their teleconference world, in telemedicine world. So here is the data shown by the call quality. You can see the data, what are the bad calls or good calls, okay or terrible calls. And when I click on the bad calls, it shows me the data, how many bad calls are there, and then how are they spread across different locations. So the total of 518 bad calls, and they're divided by different locations and of the locations or the location where the teleconference nodes are present. In calls by status, how many are there by connected, on hold, or disconnected, by different stream types, be it audio calls, full HD, HD, or SD, calls by different caller names, calls by duration, and calls also by packet loss of 3 to 7% or 7 to 10%. We can also look at calls by different client types, whether the calls came in via Chrome, Firefox, MS Team, or Safari or Skype, and which location the calls were or called in from. And also you can see all the call details in the region, and then there's a report. You can go through all the call records and look at it, how each of the calls are, what time they started, what is the protocol, what is the role of the person dialing, how many packets got lost, and so on. So this gives you a good bird's eye view of how things are going on in the entire telemedicine scenario. So definitely you can go through the similar for how the good calls, how they distributed across different locations or by different call status, and for okay and terrible calls also. We can also look at the calls by different regions. The two regions, Northern California and Southern California. Each region consists of few locations. For example, Northern California has 4 locations: Fremont, Pleasanton, San Jose, and Walnut Creek. And I can look at how the calls are by different locations in my region, what are the calls by status, and so on. The similar kind of things that we saw by calls quality, similar kind of the data analytics is presented by either by call quality or calls by region. We also can listen to different events or alerts coming from the different teleconference nodes, and we capture them and show them. So for example, we can say the ANS audio quality is bad, and on which node, and from this we can go and correlate different alerts and create incidents. So let's look at one incident. I look at that the Northern California conference server node, the IP address of the node, the CPU utilization seemed to have exceeded the threshold value of 81%. So then when we create the incident, we go and collect different metrics and logs for that from that server, and then we can present it to the user. And then also here we discover the stack, which server the incident happened, and which switches that server is connected to, and we go and collect different data from different sources. I'll also quickly walk you through the ML insights. CloudFabrix software takes all the data that is coming in, and we can run regression on the historical data. Once we run the regression, we can predict how the future trend would be for that particular regression model that we create. So in this case, I have taken the bad call count across all the calls that came into all the conference nodes. And here, as I've done the regression, I've created a model with both what are the actual values, what are the upper and low thresholds, and were there any anomalies. On certain days, I say that July 11th, I saw too many bad calls on July 4th at 4 a.m. So we see when, during which time and day I see anomaly number of bad calls. This is the current time that I run the regression on September 18th. And then after September 18th, I can predict how the bad calls will trend for the next 7 days. And then that data is presented here, that from September 17th, the maximum number of bad calls that happen is 50 and the minimum is 18. And we got 98 alerts altogether, and the rate per hour was about 32, and the peak of bad calls happened to be at 5:30 p.m. on September 17th. This is the forecast that we're doing based on how the calls came in the previous history. So we ran this regression model on September 17th or September 16th, and then the forecast for the next 7 days was done. So we done for the bad call or total call counts and the percentage users of the different conference nodes. So based on this, the regression and the prediction model, uh, the network administration can plan ahead so that if the bad calls are trending high, they can look at what is the root of the bad call. If they need to add new nodes or add more resources to the nodes, they can look at if my nodes are oversubscribed and overused, they can go and add more resources to that, or also see how the call counts are going to be coming in future. So this is a brief demo of the uh, telemedicine using CloudFabrix software, and would be happy to provide you more details and more data how we can help you really analyze the data that is coming into your medicine nodes and provide you very insightful analytics and forecast models. Thank you.